This is Entrepreneurs Get Visible, the podcast for people who want more impact, influence, and income. I'm Anna Parker-Naples, and I'll be sharing with you proven methods from leading entrepreneurs that help you get visible as an authority in your field. Because anything's possible when you get visible.
Hey there, I want to talk today about whether or not you are choosing to enjoy your business and your life. Now, maybe they feel like really big topics to get into, but I think they're really important. And this weekend has had me reflecting on how I'm choosing my day-to-day activities and how I'm choosing my attitude. So first of all, why does this matter? Well, I think the thing is, it's easy for us to get stuck and locked into patterns of doing things that actually feel really boring, feel dull, that we feel resentful for. And we don't realize how much of an impact they're having on our lives. Now, I come from an NLP background where mindset is everything that we talk about. But the thing with mindset is that it's not a one-off deal. It's not that you deal with your mindset and then everything's shifted. And I think particularly over this period of lockdown, many of us have got into stale habits of thought. The reason that this has come up for me is that I decided that I would purchase the book, Now Is Your Chance, which is written by one of my mentors, Nick Pigeon. This is she calls it a 30-day guide to choosing happiness. And this got me thinking. So it breaks down lots of positive psychology science, effectively, into how and why we think the way that we do. And I realized that there are numerous things where I'm choosing unconsciously to see the negative. So, for example, this might be complaining about things that are going on in the business. This might be feeling that I have to exercise and therefore it becomes a chore. And when I'm actually exercising, I'm not then enjoying it. Now, this feeling of being stale, this choosing not to have joy, not to recognize small moments of joy in your life, can have a real detrimental knock-on effect with everything. Now, one of the steps that I decided to make over the weekend was that instead of doing quite a boring exercise that I was geared up to do, I've been in the middle of an 80-day exercise program where I'm supposed, and I'm using inverted comments there, supposed to exercise for every single day for 80 days. But I'd not really been enjoying it. I've been going through the motions and I'm about 30 days in and I sort of switched off. I wasn't present. And through reading Nick's book, it made me realize that actually I do feel really joyful and happy that I can move my body. Now, for me, that taps into an old story about when I was disabled and I was so resentful. I can remember literally sitting in this lounge where I'm recording now, sitting on the sofa and making this kind of promise to the world, to the universe or whatever, that if I could ever walk again, I would use my body to the fullest and I would enjoy it and I would be grateful. And I'd kind of forgotten that along the way. So I'd been getting up every day, exercising so that I'm more switched on for my business, more switched on for my family, but actually not engaging and not enjoying it. There was a real resistance around that. So I decided that I would do an exercise that was just dance. So I subscribed to a paid exercise channel, if you like, set paid subscription service. And I went and found one that just looked like a whole lot of fun, just some silly music that I could really get into for 20 minutes to half an hour. Now, the difference in my energy, because I was choosing to enjoy being present in that moment, was quite astounding. And I've now done that for the last 3 days. And it's made me really reflect on where am I choosing not to enjoy elements of my business? Where am I choosing not to enjoy elements of my family life because I've got locked into a story of how things aren't quite how they should be or how I'm angry about this? Where can you let go? Now, for me, this then followed through into how I was when I was present with the family. So at meal times, actually enjoying some of the squabbles that the children were having. And instead of feeling angry and cross that they were doing that, believe me, it's still a little bit annoying, but actually seeing that that's quite a joyful part of family life and that this moment will pass. And so how can I quite enjoy the fact that they are expressing parts of themselves that they haven't, that they are growing in that way? And so for me, it meant that I could sit at the dinner table while the children are squabbling and not feel activated by it because I can see that there's actually a joyful process in that. And I can already see the shifts that this is going to bring, just this tiny little tweak in my thinking about how I deliver content and how I put my work out into the world. And so for those of you with businesses that are watching or listening right now, I want you to think about this. If I was choosing to enjoy showing up and being present and inspiring and motivating and teaching people, if I chose to enjoy that as opposed to feeling like I had to deliver content because it's another thing I have to tick off the list and it's become a chore and I'm not enjoying doing it and I resent it and I wish I didn't have to, but I feel pressured that I do. Well, what difference is it going to make to the way that you connect with your audience, you connect to the people that you want to help? So many of you who follow me are, wanting to come into the motivational field, are becoming more present online because you want to help people make more money. You want to make more money yourself. You have a big mission or a big impact piece that you want to create. And you're sometimes resistant to doing that and to showing up. So what I would say to you is start to go and think about the moments of joy you can have in your life and how that is going to then come through in the energy that you're transmitting through the work that you're putting out there. I think when you can come from a place of giving, when you can come from a place of genuinely wanting to show up as yourself and tell your stories, tell your moments of change, your moments of vulnerability, your moments of shift, then actually you're coming from a place of real, genuine sharing and potentially a place of contribution and kindness. And there's a very different energy to that, to I have to do this, I have to get 10 minutes of content live, I have to record a podcast. It's a really different presence. And I think actually that can be received in a much better way by your audience, by your listeners, by your followers. It's actually more and more engaging. So where are you choosing not to have joy? Where are you choosing to feel resentment? Where are you choosing to feel stuck? And what is it you need to do to make that minor shift? Because it will change so much in your life. Now, I'm not ever saying to you that I'm a done deal. Just because I've got loads of qualifications in mindset and it's something that I help other people with doesn't mean that I'm that finished article. We have to go back and do this work on a daily basis. So I'm going to challenge you to think about, where are you not choosing joy? Where are you not choosing to see the good things in your life? For me, when I want to reconnect with joy, happiness, all of those good stuff, it's about getting my body moving. It's about noticing my thoughts. It's about noticing my words, noticing my speech habits. It's about gratitude. It's so much about gratitude. Are you actually being grateful for the things that you have in your life? Are you actually grateful for the fact that you wake up in a lovely, cozy, warm bed? Are you grateful that you can make a cup of tea and drink it? Are you grateful for the fact that you have people in your life, even if you've had arguments with them and niggles with them? So, for example, one of the things I've become aware of is that one of my children is notoriously challenging to wake up in the morning, and that I have felt in the past that I've carried a lot of that pressure to get us all out of the house on time for the school run. Well, what happens if I choose to see that with joy? What if I see that with humor? What if I see that with love and kindness? Well, my interactions then change and I'm more present to what I'm choosing. So what I want you to think about is, how could I see more joy in my life today? How could I switch up my negativity? How can I actually be grateful for the fact that I am living my life right now? So we've just been through a horrendous period, or what could be seen as a horrendous period, where we've been in lockdown for a long time. And in the UK right now, we're just starting to open up. What actually, if this has presented you with an opportunity to reassess your life, what happens if this presents you with an opportunity to choose how and who with you connect with joyfully, as opposed to feeling obligation? I've also been listening to The Big Leap by Gay Hendrick is his name. Gay Hendrick is the author. And I've read this book a few times, but what I've been focusing on this time is where I am blocking myself. Now, I historically have suffered with a lot of migraines and headaches and all sorts of things, which often I will say is hormonal, but often actually occur for me when I've got scared about my own growth, or I've noticed family and friends around me being scared about my growth. And I'm picking up on that fear. What happens if I don't allow myself to be absorbing other people's fear and I tap into the joy at my own self-expression, my own self-actualization, and my own development? So noticing your resistance, noticing your own joy, noticing your own choice. So for me today, I want to leave you with this parting thought. Where can you choose joy and happiness in the adventure of growing your business? Where can you choose joy and happiness in the adventure of living your life today? Because sometimes we're looking for that happiness outside ourselves, that we'll be happy when we hit that 6-figure income, that 7-figure income. We'll be happy when everything is perfect at home. But what happens if you notice those small moments of joy? What happens is you start to change and you start to affect what goes on around you. Over and out for today. I hope this has got you thinking about where you are choosing joy and how you're showing up. And if you are a business owner creating online social media content, podcasts, Facebook Lives, LinkedIn Lives, YouTube videos, how can you actually tap into the joy of what you want to transmit to people rather than feeling like it is a chore?
Thank you for listening to Entrepreneurs Get Visible. To get your free checklist on how to raise your profile and to find out about our community, go to annaparkernaples.co.uk/get visible.